Okay, kids, Dr. Freedom here with you in time for a little bit of Doctor Who news. Now, everybody's been freaking out, going mad, and just basically trying to claw their own hair out because of this particular article that just popped up in the Mirror. Now, you notice most of the time I don't give the Mirror any credence, except when it's Doctor Who and it's this particular person writing it, then I have to say there's some, meat to this story. This could possibly be true because Nicola Methvin has always been pretty much on the ball as far as Doctor Who news goes, and, very rarely wrong. But the thing is, this article, the title for it here is, quite a bit deceiving. It should say may have to wait until 2022, because let's take a look at it rather quickly, shall we? Okay, right here. Doctor Who fans could be forced to wait until 2022 for the next series because of delays of filming caused by the COVID safety regulations. Now, we know they've just recently updated those guidelines. I went over this in a video a little while ago. You may want to go look it up. But at the same time, it could be because of the fact that there's also international travel limits and all that due to COVID as well. So if they're going to do any filming abroad, that's definitely going to take a chunk out, especially when there's a quarantine period involved in going to and from countries and all that around the planet right now. It says here, with scenes taking twice as long to film. There's War of the Worlds is filming right now. Or, actually, I think they might have wrapped up. Matter of fact, Keeping Faith has already wrapped their production. And all they do is they make sure everybody's tested. They do, screenings regularly. All the crew and cast are randomly tested on a daily basis to make sure that nobody has the COVID virus when they appear on screen together. But this part, I do believe producers are also struggling to work out how they can make the same number of shows within the budget because costs relating to the pandemic are spiraling. That's right, because you have to have medical staff present, plus you have to have the testing equipment and all that stuff, people to handle that stuff. With the last series taking 11 months to shoot, they think the next will take quite a bit longer because as the huge crews are social distancing across numerous locations. All right. Now, one source said pushing the show back to 22 was looking increasingly likely. Increasingly likely. That means it's not been decided yet. You see what I mean? Shooting safely is a slow process. If there's a series finished and ready to go next year, it'll be nothing short of a miracle. So they're not saying it's impossible. And it's going to cost a fortune, but last night a BBC source said, quote, filming is going ahead as planned, and we remain hopeful the next series will air in 2021. So right here, this is kind of misleading. They're, taking things from different angles, and they're playing, conservative football, as John Madden would say. They're, trying to keep everybody's, from not getting their hopes too far up in case something does come along that this all goes kaputski, all right? Right here, it's not 100% written in stone that next year you won't be getting any Doctor Who, okay? They're just saying it could be, and because of the coronavirus. Why am I looking at a woman's cleavage? Oh, wait, sorry. That's not my fault. That's not my fault, okay? I didn't put that there. All right, that's from Mirror. What do you expect? Now, according to the Radio Times, Doctor Who will be returning to filming in a few weeks. And basically, they're playing on... Now, what Mandip Gill said is, I guess we're just going to have to wait for the filming guidelines. Like I said before, they've already had numerous productions filming over there. Batman was filming over there. Now, originally they were saying Pattinson got the COVID-19 virus. Now I'm hearing differently. I have to go look back in on that and see what happened with that. I just haven't really had time to read up on it. The original plan, from what I heard, was they were supposed to start filming here in September, but then COVID still was going on, and then there was talks that it could start in November, and if necessary, be pushed back to January. Now, it looks like to push back to January, they don't want it to happen. Plus, of course, here we talked about this the other night where Sacha Dhawan said he'd like to come back as the Master. I guess they threw that in to pad this because, once again, Radio Times is just taking what little they have and they're trying to throw it out there and say, this could happen and whatnot. And this is Andre LaForde's take on it over here in Cult Box. So if you want to read the Cult Box version, but it's mainly pertaining back to the Mirror article, here you go over to Cult Box. All right, BBC Studio Showcase becomes an immersive virtual event in 2021. Now, all of you out there who've been listening or watching this show No, the BBC Studio Showcase where they get all these people together and they show them the programs they're throwing out there, for the following year and all that. Now it's going to be taking place instead of as a physical, big, huge event. That's all they're saying here basically is going to happen. It's going to become one big virtual event where all the people can tune into it, who are involved with it. And they'll do it the same way, but, via like Zoom or whatever they use for that. All right, lastly, Diana Rigg, as we all know, has sadly passed away at the age of 82. This is kind of a shocker, really, but at the same time, 82, as far as I'm concerned, great innings. Plus a life, well-lived, a career that is known throughout the world, but, from the Avengers, and I'm not talking about them ones with Tony Stark, okay? I'm talking the original frickin' Avengers, all right? With Patrick McNee, oh man, I still love that bowler hat. Matter of fact, I own a bowler hat probably because of Patrick McNee. Mine don't look as cool as his though. All right, so as we all know, Diana Rigg also appeared in Doctor Who along with her daughter Rachel Sterling all the way back in the Crimson Horror. And it's just sad to hear that she's passed away, but she's left us a very lasting legacy. In the roles that she played, from Game of Thrones all the way back, plus all the stuff she was doing, recently that she was still involved in. Like I said, still saddening that she's left us, but at the same time, at least she's back up there with Patrick. If you're into that, she's up there with Patrick McNee right now, and the team's reunited. Well, folks, I got to get going. I just wanted to make this quick and dirty video to talk to you about this particular article mainly. No, not that up there. That's just nasty. Okay. That so far, I think what's going to happen is they might be aiming for October now rather than November. At least that's the vibe I'm getting. Unless they're saying a few weeks means November, which is what I heard. But at the same time, you have to remember the new COVID guidelines are in. They have to follow those guidelines. It's a lot of stuff going on there. But it's not definite that Doctor Who is pushed back to 2022. As you read here. So one source and another one said it could be 2022. Another said they're still shooting for 2021. So don't freak out yet on me, all right? Now, everybody, please take care. Watch yourselves out there. And remember today, and I almost forgot this, which is sad. It's the 19th anniversary of 9/11. It was a tragic event here in the United States. I don't care what your theory is on how it went down. Thousands of people still died. And America came together in, friendship and brotherhood, sister, whatever you want to say. And now look at us now, not even 20 years later. And we're so divided. But I want you to take a moment and, think of those who lost their lives on that day and, just remember 9/11. Good night.